Hello and welcome to ActivTrades biggest market movers. Today I'll be looking at the euro against the US dollar. I'll be discussing the upcoming economic calendar this week. I'll also be having a brief recap on the euro dollar, and I'll also be identifying the key technical levels that you need to know this week. So if we have a look at the economic calendar this week for the euro, the early part of the week is dominated by inflation data. We have the Eurozone inflation data coming out first, and then we move on to the US economy, and that will be releasing its CPI for September, and of course that will be closely watched for any signs of increased inflation that may strengthen the Fed's hand in raising rates at some point this year. And then we move on to Thursday, and we have the ECB interest rate decision and the press conference, and that will obviously be a market mover for the euro. And of course, with rumours of the ECB tapering their quantitative easing program, that will particularly be watched by traders. If we have a look at what's been happening with the euro, we did have a very bearish week for the euro last week. Once we broke underneath this triangle around the 111 area, it was really a one-way trade for the euro, and it was a sell all the way down on Friday to the 109.60 level, where we really bottomed out and where we're currently sitting now. If we have a look at what the euro may do now, it may of course continue to fall, and we have the next level of support, which was a bounce area back in July around the 109.50. If we break the 109.50, then we move to a very important level, and that would be the Brexit low around 109.05. And once we get underneath there, it starts to look very slippery for the euro. And of course, you've got the 108.80 and the 108.50. So watch those key levels to the downside. I think the psychological 110 on the euro is the pivot. It's had some trouble moving underneath there last week, so if we do move back above there, that will be a positive sign for the euro. And of course, the actual triangle itself is currently topping out just underneath the 111. Any break back in there, and that's really what the euro needs to take the bearish pressure off. I would like to note that we are underneath the 100-day and the 200-day moving averages, but even though we have fallen a lot last week, some 200 plus pips, these two moving averages haven't crossed over yet, so that's either signalling a false break or potentially that this currency has a lot more to lose in pip terms in the upcoming weeks if it does break that 109 level. So really a pivotal week for the euro dollar, and I think really the crucial levels will be the psychological 111, the 110 and the 109 to keep your eyes on. Thank you very much. This has been ActivTrades biggest market movers, and you can trade the euro dollar for spreads as low as 0.7 pips, and ActivTrades also offers negative balance protection.